This is part 3.
In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate how to factor by grouping in order to solve a quadratic equation. We're going to use something called the quadratic formula. What many people don't realize is that the quadratic formula is actually a shortcut for factoring by grouping. And that's why mathematicians like to use it. The formula, first thing you need to know is when we put an equation in standard form, the standard form for the equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Which you can see we have our equation in this format where a is 3 and b is negative 11 and c is negative 4. The quadratic formula tells us that we can take the opposite of the b and then plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times ac, the whole thing over 2a. This is actually a shortcut for completing the square. Let's demonstrate how to use this formula. The first thing I like to do is I like to set up a little table here where I tell myself what is my a, what is my b, and what is my c. And the reason I do this is I tend to lose the negative signs all the time. So this is a way of sorting it out so you can visually see what each of these variables represent. The coefficient of the x squared is our a. The coefficient of our linear term is minus 11. And our constant is the number 4. And it's a negative. So make sure you take these subtraction signs and use them as your negative signs. Now I'm going to place this a, b, and c into our formula. Our first step is the negative 11. We want to take the opposite of negative 11, which is positive 11. And then we place our plus and minus sign with a square root. And we're going to square negative 11. And then we're going to subtract 4 times our a value times our c value. And that whole thing, make sure you get your fraction bar underneath everything that you've just written down, not just the square root sign, but also the 11 over here. And then we're going to double our a term. Now let's simplify this. We have 11 plus or minus the square root. Negative 11 times negative 11 is 121. And we have a negative 4 times a positive 3, which is a negative 12. And we're going to multiply that by a negative 4. So we get a positive 48. And that whole thing is over 6. And now we're going to find what's underneath the square root sign. And we have 121 plus 48, which gives me a 169. The square root of 169 is 13. Step 4, we have 11 plus or minus 13 over 6. We need to simplify this to find where our equation or our parabola hits the x-axis. We need to simplify these two roots. We have an 11 plus 13 over 6, and we have an 11 minus 13 over 6. This one simplifies to 24 over 6, which gives us 4. And this one simplifies to a negative 2 over 6, which gives us a negative 1/3. Our two solutions, therefore, will be 4, 0, and negative 1/3, 0.